My whole life, I always knew I was special. Even with no remainders, I could always move a decimal. Money on my mind while the girls that made un beso. Hustlers in my blood and it's running through my vessels. Just trying to clear the threshold, just trying to make a way. In my race against time, I could see an early grave. School to prison pipeline, 12 years a slave. Suspension and detention is conditioned for a cage.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is Eddie Hearn says that Jermall Charlo is an easier fight than Triple G and Arthur Beterbiev. Let's take a listen to what Eddie Hearn had to say. And this video appears courtesy of Fight Hype. You can subscribe to Fight Hype. Now let's take a listen.
Canelo are obviously Bivol and Triple G on your side, and there's Charlo on PBC side. Would you consider a fight with Triple G or Bivol a more difficult fight than Charlo?
I think Bivol is a very tough fight. I mean, he's a light heavyweight. He's very.
Would you consider it more difficult than a Charlo fight?
Yeah, tricky.
Most fighters?
Oh, different kind of ways. Like I see the Golovkin fight as a much more brutal fight than Charlo, and I see the Bivol fight as a much more technically tricky fight than Charlo. But Charlo is also a great fighter. So each fight brings different challenges.
So if you can rank them, you'd probably put Charlo third. Even though he's a great fighter, like you said, but you'll probably.
I think Charlo is the easiest fight of the three. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Are those fights still available if he does?
All right, so I see a correction that needs to be made. It's Bivol, not Beterbiev. So that's on me. He says that Jermall Charlo is an easier fight than Triple G and Bivol. And we're kind of going to change this whole thing because our next topic was going to be about how Eddie Hearn is currently trying to get Canelo to sign a 2-fight deal to fight Bivol in May and then Triple G in September. But since this is about him saying that Charlo's easier, do you agree? And who would you want to see Canelo fight? If he had to fight 2 fighters this year, who would you rather see him fight? Would it be Triple G, Bivol, or Charlo? So you guys got that? Mm-hmm. Do you agree that Charlo's the easiest? And which 2 fighters of the 3 that were named would you rather see Canelo fight this year? I'm going to turn it over to our Canelo expert, Trill Dollar Bill.
First of all, Canelo can do whatever Canelo wants to do. Eddie Hearn says that Charlo is the easier fight than Triple G and
Bivol.
Okay, now let's just break it down. I don't know because I see flaws in every one of these situations. Because I look at Charlo coming up, being a smaller man, never fought at that division, but he got the youth and he got the power, and he does have some skills, and it could be difficult for a Canelo, but I do see Canelo winning because of his experience. And besides, Charlo will be his first time fighting at 168, and I don't know if he'll be able to handle that pressure of a Canelo right there at 168 that first time with Canelo. Triple G is old. I think the first fight was a draw. The second fight, Canelo won. This third fight, Canelo is stopping him. Canelo will stop him because of the age and the inactivity and stuff like that. That's not the same Triple G. We're going to get a one-time Triple G. You know what I'm saying? And then Bivol, another thing. I think that Canelo will beat him too because from watching his last fight, the inexperience, I think experience will beat Bivol. And that's what I see. What I want from Canelo, I want legacy for Canelo. I want him to go to 190. I want him to take that belt from cruiserweight. If he does come down into 175 and he does want to fight Bivol, I think he should stay at 175. I think there's no need to go back to 178. All this up and down eventually is going to catch up to you. You know what I'm saying? I know you want to be great, so my road is different. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him to fight the guy Junior at cruiserweight, and then if he wants to fight at 175 to fight the guy Bivol, that could be there. Or he can fight Bivol now and then stay at 175 and become undisputed because I see that they're trying to get the belts together with Beterbiev and what's the other?
Joe Smith.
Joe Smith. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get that, so they had a fight. So look, it could be another undisputed in 2 different weight classes. If he can get the fight with Bivol, and then those guys do get out, and I can see Arthur Beterbiev fighting that, and then Arthur Beterbiev and Canelo can get it out, and then Canelo be undisputed in 2 different weight classes. I can see that happening. You know what I'm saying? Canelo right now he can do whatever he wants.
All right, G.
Yeah, so the most difficult fight I believe is Bivol because of the size, and so that'll be a different terrain for Canelo. I agree with Trill. I think Triple G is food now. He's inactive. He's getting older. He's not as fast anymore, and we've seen Canelo from then on always improve. We haven't seen that from Triple G. So I honestly believe this is like what Trill was saying. He's gonna actually end this dude. He's gonna knock him out. And so I would like to say that would be the easiest fight. And Charlo's in the middle. And the reason why is because, like what Trill was saying, also he is young. He has fast hands. He does have some decent power, and it's the element of the unknown. You know what I mean? Like another thing about Triple G, Canelo's been in the ring with you for 2 fights, bruh, 24 rounds. So he knows how you fight. And I'm pretty sure Canelo's probably watching your recent fights, and he's like, this dude ain't the same Triple G of old, So I honestly believe that Eddie had that one wrong. But I understand why Eddie would want to make the Triple G fight. That's still a huge fight. It's a huge fight. But me personally, I think the Charlo fight is more lucrative than the Bivol fight, But I get it though, Charlo's on PBC, so maybe Eddie's just like, I'm just gonna keep it in-house. So I could respect that, but I don't think the Triple G fight is gonna be more difficult than a Charlo fight for Canelo.
All right, TBE.
All right, from what I see from Canelo, it's like he moved. He likes a challenge, so I feel like Charlo is the smaller guy in this fight, so it's easy dog food for him to take down. And no disrespect to Charlo, because like you're a good guy.
Views and opinions of Ned do not reflect the Boxing Bros as a whole and all the other faces you see on the screen. Go ahead.
I feel Triple G would be his toughest fight because it's the third fight in Triple V. I feel Triple V feels like he was cheated those first 2 fights. So I feel like Triple G will bring like some type of intensity or some type of game plan for Canelo, so he could like conform or adjust to. Canelo has to make adjustments for that fight.
Well, this is clear. Triple G beat him twice.
I know, but I'm saying that if they was to fight a third time, Triple G would be like more, bring like the intensity for this third fight, and it'll be an exciting fight. Like it'll be a fight like you wouldn't want to miss. But if it was better be with Bivol, it's a fight that's tough, but I don't know. They don't have the experience Canelo has. I feel like Canelo will break them down easy. So I'm like number 2 in a row, and I'm just saying Charlo's easy because Charlo's just thirsty for the payday. I don't need a disclaimer, but I'm just feeling Charlo is trying to get his name in the ranks of Canelo, but he's not on Canelo status. But I feel like because these are guys are bigger fighters, different fighters like that are a challenge for anybody, and I feel that Canelo would just manhandle Charlo, struggle with a better beat, and the Triple G would just be a satisfying trilogy. That's it.
All right, so let's dive into this real quick. On the top of my head, I think Charlo would be a harder fight than Triple G. And the reason why I think Charlo would be a harder fight than Triple G is for a number of reasons. 1, youth. 2, when Sergey Derevianchenko fought Triple G, I think I don't recall my score, but I think it's possible I had Derevianchenko winning that fight. I know it was extremely close, and a lot of people thought Sergey Derevianchenko pulled it off. And then after that fight, Derevianchenko fought Jermall Charlo. And so he's still riding high because it's like you just had this fight with Triple G. A lot of people thought you won, and Jermall beat him in more emphatic and more dominant fashion than Triple G did. In fact, like I said, the win was questionable for Triple G. It wasn't for Jermall. So you go off of that, and then you look at their fights after that. Triple G fought some dude, I can't remember his name. I think it was like Sharameta or something like that. and the dude had like no knockouts. He had a very low knockout ratio, and Triple G dominated him. But like it took Triple G like 5 rounds of pounding this dude before he stopped him. And it wasn't like this guy was a world beater. Now people are going to talk about Montel and the tough fight that he gave Jermall Charlo in Jermall Charlo's last fight. But remember, that's a guy who comes from a fighting family, a fighting pedigree, and he was coming off a big victory too. I can't remember who he beat off the top of my head, but he was coming off of a big victory as well, a bigger victory than that guy Jermall, whoever that dude was that Triple G beat, ever had. So I don't understand. People are living in the past on Triple G, but Triple G hasn't shown anything recently. That's one. And the second thing about Triple G is he hasn't shown the willingness to move from 160. So if he's going to fight Canelo Alvarez, does he want the trilogy to be at 160? Because Canelo's not going back there. So does that mean that Triple G's finally going to move up? So for all those reasons, if you ask me, I think I think Charlo would be a better fight for Canelo than Triple G. One, because I saw it twice already. And I'll be honest with you, I scored the fight for Canelo both times. So I don't even think it was a draw. I think Canelo won the first one, and I think he won the second one. So for me, it should be done. Triple G did a lot better in the first fight than he did in the second fight. I thought the second fight was definitive. So, I mean, again, close fights, people can have their own opinion. I understand why people feel the way they feel. It's a style thing as well. They both utilize different styles. But for me, I just feel like Triple G hasn't fought an elite caliber opponent in a long time. And when he fought Derevianchenko, he didn't look too good. And Charlo did a lot better against Derevianchenko. So to me, I give him the nod for that. And he's younger. And Canelo hasn't fought him twice already. But perhaps Triple G fight makes more money. So in that case, if you want to go for the money, go for the money. Bivol's the one that I think would be the most difficult fight. And it's strictly because of his size. However, when I last saw Bivol, I think he had a split decision fight against some dude, Richards, from like the UK. The guy he was fighting was UK level. And he was dominating the dude, but then he started to fade towards the end, and then Richards started winning some rounds. Again, I'm going off the top of my head with this. I'm not looking it up. I'm not even trying to look it up. So if I got these names wrong or if I'm slightly off, it's fine. I'm just going off the dome, like recalling the fights. I'm not trying to research it all. But the point I'm making is Bivol didn't look good. You may blame quarantine because this was at the peak of quarantine where guys started coming back immediately after quarantine. So maybe Bivol was a bit sluggish because he couldn't work out like he normally would due to restrictions and shutdowns and whatever. So you never really know. But all I'm saying was he didn't look too good in that fight. So for me, I think Bivol would be the most difficult fight. Then I think it would be Charlo. For my own personal preference, I would love to see him fight Charlo because I do think that Charlo brings a little something different to the table. And although I think Bivol would be the most difficult fight, I think Charlo has the best chance of beating him if he puts it all together right. So for me, I would rather see him fight Charlo and then go on to Bivol. That's what I would rather see. So if it was up to me, he'd fight Charlo in May. If he beats Charlo, which I would pick him to beat Charlo, then I would want to see him fight Bivol in September.
Sounds good to me. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. You know we are with boxing.
So we're going to skip the Canelo versus Bivol?
Yeah, I just figured combine them because he brings him up in the interview anyway.
So next